I got a picture of my dad, right? And I even got some more money. How much this is? What, $2? I got a picture of my dad, man. And I got this dollar. Would you rip a picture of your beloved ancestor, your father, a person that you lost, right? Would you rip this with the same quickness that you will rip this dollar? Especially if this is your only or one of your only pictures of your father or your deceased loved one, right? One would just think like of how much, no amount of money would make them rip up this picture, right? Because it holds a lot of memory, right? Well, I feel like that's the same thing with this dollar. Because of this nigga, right? Who really created a phenomenal foundation to have us honor him and his image and what he wanted for our lives rather than the images of our ancestors and our, beloved, forefathers and ancient African, Nubian, celestial, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? Because black people have been disconnected from the source of our value. We've been disconnected from our ancestors, and they gave us their ancestors. Now, I was gonna rip this again only because of how fucked up that the reality of this shit really is, right? And I said I was about to rip it. Maybe I should have just ripped it, but that would have been $2 I ripped. See, I had to do it. Yeah, that was $2 that I just ripped. That was a first. That was a first when so many days have went by with me feeling like that was the last. But it was since I was born, right? My dad, right? It is because of him that I'm here. So he could say this is my first. This is my first. Right? This isn't my first dollar, but this is my first, right? This is the last dollar I ripped, but it's not my last. Right? Stop holding yourself back, man. Like, I'm not saying just be completely fucking delusional and just rip y'all money, but I was only doing it to give y'all a example of the value that we hold over this money versus our own selves, right? Because our ancestors are a reflection of us, right? They say we are our ancestors' greatest creation, right? Yeah. We feel like that this is the greatest creation. And motherfuckers would do any and everything out their motherfucking power so we can feel like that we can get this, or that we have to get it, or we have to have it just to be somebody. Like, yeah, I can say what y'all want to. I know that was just $2 that I just ripped up, but maybe I should just do 3. Just because the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9. And no, I do not have no tape. Even if I did have tape, why the fuck would a nigga like me just rip $3, right? I mean, of course I know that it still has some value, right? I can still spend it, of course, but could I still spend this after ripping it up or completely blowing it? No, I can't. I cannot change on the ancestors. And I'm a nigga that don't even have shit. I'm not rich. And this money, of course, universe, but in spirit, in the spirit that made me do that, nigga, I'm I'm probably wealthy as fuck. Like, bruh, like, I'm telling you, because I can rip all this shit. But you can't rip what's a part of you. And that's the ancestors, that's the universe, that's your real self. Right? Think about how